My name is Stephanie Rashkumar. I am the founder and creator of Boozy Goodies. Boozy Goodies is a combination of alcohol and dessert. Like most of us, I was raised in a society where the ideal path to success is nagged and learned by all. And you apply to a college or university of your choice, you earn a degree, and then you go on to securing a job in your field. Then you go on to marrying the person that you had all the time in the world to meet. And once that entire process is completed, everyone will point at you and say, and she lived happily ever after. Let's not fool ourselves. I'm hopefully going to set the stage for reality and give you the greatest life lesson. This is the Boozy Story. So my first year at university, my dad lost his job, I think within the second semester. I found out about it when I came home for summer that year. My mom told me, even though she didn't really want to confess that. I couldn't believe it, obviously. What I had felt was secure my entire life, I had to begin to question, which was my financial security. I felt obligated to go to school and achieve a degree that I could make my parents proud of. I remember telling my mom that I would come home for school and that I wouldn't have to stay on res anymore and that I could easily go to a campus that was local, but they insisted that I follow my dream and live it out. And so that's what I did. I acted as if nothing had happened, and I tried my best to move on and live as though everything was okay when behind it all it actually wasn't. I was in a hole of darkness. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do after graduating, and I felt a bit lost. And so I went along with the process of graduating. The day of convocation was, it was pretty emotional. I was really excited, happy, obviously overcome with joy because my parents were also celebrating my success with me. I had both of my grandmothers there as well, which was pretty amazing. I felt very blessed to say the least. But after walking on that stage and receiving my degree, I realized that I was going to be joining a million other souls who had this piece of paper in their hands and did or did not know how to utilize it. I started to lose hope. I was coming across job postings that either required A, further education, or B, experience that I did not have. I was in a pool of how many other students looking for a job and didn't know where to turn. My parents didn't know that I was feeling this upset. So I guess I met my breaking point when I came home after work one day and I threw an adult tantrum. I threw my lunch bag on the floor, my coat on the floor, and I broke down. I remember my parents were in the kitchen and I ran into the house and I yelled at them, but I think I was actually metaphorically yelling at myself. I was frustrated and I felt like a burden. I felt as if I had wasted all their money, the gift of education that they gave to me, and put it towards this degree that was just sitting on my wall. So I sucked up my pity party and I decided to enroll in a fitness boot camp. Here I'd be able to, take all this negative energy and put it into something positive. I'd be able to gain some physical strength, even though maybe my mental strength wasn't at its best at that time. And so I was unhappy at my job and I felt like I needed to come up with a way to make my parents some extra cash. We were in a financial situation and my mom was the breadwinner of the house. That's when I started bartending at my local club. It was just temporary. I mean, I would only do it on weekends, and the weekends that I had free to myself, so it wasn't as often as I wanted to. I'd sit at my desk at work and I would try to brainstorm ideas of a company that I could start that would, make some extra cash. I went to dinner with my cousins one night. I told them I felt really bad about the situation that my parents were in and that I wanted to get them out of it. We were having these Moxie's Bellinis. They threw all these gummy frogs in the Bellinis. And so I'm looking at the gummy and looking at the cocktail and thinking, hey, wouldn't it be cool to, have a gummy that's infused with a cocktail of some sort, you know, an alcoholic gummy. Little did I know that the birth of Boozy Goodies was actually sitting in my drink, staring at me right in my face. It was an idea: alcoholic desserts, alcoholic candies. I sat at my desk one day, like instead of Googling careers in my field, I Googled a business template. And I decided to copy and paste certain headings or subtitles that appealed to this alcoholic infused confection idea that I had. Then I went from there to have this Instagram ready novelty at a party, you know, something that people want to have at their party but don't have the time to create. And here I was going to provide a service, and I thought that it was money worthy. So I Googled a few prototypes, you know. I searched some alcohol infused treats and desserts, and I actually created a list, put my own twist on things, and I decided I would try them out in my own kitchen. My parents were the first testers, I guess, the Boozy Goodie guinea pigs, as I like to call them. So my dad typically enjoys alcohol, my mom not so much. So the fact that she was even trying it really went to show that she believed in me, and she wanted Boozy Goodies to be something that actually worked out in my favor, something for the long run. Once I figured out that I was going to turn this into a business, I decided that I would text my parents and invite them to a formal business meeting. They were apprehensive and they were questioning what I was having a business meeting about. They asked who would be there. I told them it was just them, myself. And so they agreed, and we went to Joey's. And we had a business meeting. I sat them down and I pulled out these proposals. I had one for each of us, and I handed them highlighters and pens. And we went through the proposal as a seminar, I guess. I explained to them what my vision was and what I had planned. And they sat there, they listened, and surprisingly, they supported exactly what I was going to do. So I created a Gmail account, boozygoodies@gmail.com, and I obviously directed all of my followers to email me there if they wanted an order. So I would actually sit at my laptop and refresh my email over and over again. So I actually had an order, and it was real, and it was actually happening. Just receiving an email with subject line Boozy Goodies order, I think that's when it became real. It was something more than just a concept. It was a brand becoming something. After my first order, the orders kept on rolling in on all platforms, and I just remember looking back at all these orders and thinking to myself, wow, this is an actual business. Here I was creating a product and people wanted to buy it, and that became Boozy Goodies. It was something that I had just envisioned on a piece of paper, and turning it into reality, into a tangible object, and selling it to consumers, you know, all around the city. And all of a sudden my business became a success, and I realized that there was no right path to success. So for any of you who have listened to the story and you know, you have a dream or you have a plan, my advice to you is just go out and do it, no matter how big or small your dream may be. I strongly advise to take risks and just go after what you love. And that's why Boozy Goodies is what it is today.